Stay tuned for Retire Your Way with Dale Soutas, a leading financial retirement strategist and the founder of Soutas Financial and Insurance Solutions, right here in Fresno. Every week, Dale discusses pressing financial topics of the week, ranging from reliable income strategies to our financial markets, including Social Security, tax strategies, wealth management, RMDs, legacy planning, long-term care solutions, and most importantly, how to make sure you have enough guaranteed lifetime income to retire your way with choice and dignity. From taxes to trends to total transparency, Dale covers it all. And now, here is Retire Your Way and Dale Soutas. This is Retire Your Way with Dale Soutas of Soutas Financial, right here in the middle of California, right here in the middle of all of the breaking news. We have breaking tax news. We have market recovery news. We have longevity news. All that and more on today's program. But come on. You know, we know that it's been summertime and people have been traveling and people have been off and enjoying the weekend. So, round of applause for you, Dale, for joining me here.
Oh, that was for you, not me.
That's for you, buddy. How you doing this week?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. Like I said, busy. Really surprised. Oftentimes there's these stretches, the dog days of summer, where people aren't really paying attention to what's going on, and there is some news and there are some recoveries and things going on. So let's dive right into it. First of all, the big bill, the big tax bill. It has now extended our tax reductions from 2017 all the way through 2028 right now. Those extensions, they call it, quote unquote, permanent, but nothing is permanent when it comes to the tax code. You just need legislators to come in and change it.
Yeah. It's all temporary.
But what about for those on Social Security, those over the age of 65? There is a dollar amount of a reprieve. What happened there, Dale?
Well, interestingly, and we even brought this up recently at one of our Fresno State workshops, because people need to know, well, how does that Social Security change? You know, we're not getting taxed on Social Security. People were thinking, no, that's not accurate. There's a $6,000 each senior bonus deduction. So if you're 65 and above, you get to lower your income by $6,000, a deduction on your income and really, if you think about it, people who are just basically all they have is Social Security and very little, if any, pensions, they're already not taxed on their Social Security. They probably pay zero tax. People who make hundreds of thousands of dollars, tons of money, this isn't going to help them, because the way this bill addresses taxes on Social Security is that if you are single and make up to $75,000, you can take that $6,000 deduction. Mm-hmm. Married couples can take it even up to $150,000 of income. Now, it decreases the amount of that $6,000 you get to keep, or lower your income, I should say, as your income increases. So if you're single and your income goes to $175,000, you don't get that $6,000 deduction anymore. And if you're married and your income gets to $250,000, you don't get that $6,000 deduction. So, like I pointed out at our recent workshop, who's that helping? It really is helping most of us who are, middle class, right? If you think about it. But the difference between a deduction and a tax credit can be big. For those of us, if you know, when you put solar on and you get a 30% tax credit, let's say the credit is $6,000 in this example, like this deduction for Social Security. Mm-hmm. The tax credit is off of your taxes. That's a better deduction than lowering your income by $6,000. See, so don't be fooled by the I'm gonna
ask you to say that again. So there's deduction and credit.
Right.
$6,000 is a deduction from the income, and the income meaning what you're taking out from your tax deferred accounts or from your provisional income from the Social Security itself. So your Social Security counts as income. A credit is what then?
Okay, so you're married and you make $150,000, and you're both 65. You get to lower your $150,000 income by $12,000. You each get $6,000 deduction. Okay. Now, you're married, you're making $150,000. Your taxes, let's say in this example, just I'm not going to be telling you what your taxes are, but let's say you have $20,000 of tax that you have to pay that year, whether some of it's been withheld or not. And you put solar on your home and you get a $10,000 tax credit. So instead of paying $20,000 in taxes, you pay $10,000. So a tax credit is better because it's reducing the taxes. It's not just lowering your income. It's better. It's a bigger impact on our taxes. But so this is just a deduction. And the other reality is it's temporary. So it's not a permanent fix for people who have Social Security. It's not permanently we're going to get $6,000 a year if we're 65 and over, because it only goes through 2028. So for 4 years, 25 through 28, we can use that against our income and hopefully lower what we pay in taxes, possibly eliminating most of the tax on our Social Security. But after that, it reverts back up to what we're doing now.
So I'm going to repeat that go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead and repeat
Well, I was
that.
going to repeat that for those of us in the cheap seats here. A deduction lowers your income. The credit lowers your tax. Did I get that right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right. And so this is
you
a
want to-
deduction?
Yeah.
This is a deduction.
Yeah.
Okay. So it'll
Social
lower...
Security, the new bill is deducting, is lowering your income. It's a deduction, not a tax credit.
Okay. All righty. So temporary, but it gives us a little relief, especially for those who receive, who are on their Social Security. That's kind of the whole point, over the age of 65. This is interesting to me. So taxpayers over 65. So what about somebody who has waited to turn on their Social Security till like 68, 69, 70? Do they still get this credit? Is this triggered by having to have provisional income, meaning Social Security tax? Or this is just if you're over the age of 65, you get to take this deduction? Good question?
So,
Yeah.
fun question. So think about it. If you're already getting Social Security and you have some other income like a pension or rental income, so the more other income you get, more of your Social Security gets moved over to the taxable column. Sometimes people think that I get Social Security and it's all taxable like other income. No, it's not. For single and married, you have to exceed certain limits before any of it gets moved to the taxable column. And then the maximum currently of your Social Security that can be taxed is 85% of it. Okay, so and that's if you're making additional income. So now, what this is effectively doing is just giving you $6,000 as a single or $12,000 as a married couple, if you're 65 and above, and on getting Social Security, and you have income that is pushing your Social Security to the taxable column. It's helping to reduce the taxes on that. It's not eliminating the tax on your Social Security. And the other benefit is, if you think about it, because not only this is in place for a few years, they've extended the lower tax rates that started in 2018 also to 2028. So where we thought, okay, we've got to start moving and converting things.
Moving and shaking on that Roth conversion.
Yeah, Roth conversions. They're giving us a couple more years that taxes are on sale. So get Uncle Sam out of your retirement income sources like retirement plans, 401ks, TSPs, 403bs. Convert them to Roth while tax rates are low, and we know what they are.
Yeah,
historically. And then be able to use that money down the road tax-free. So it's opening, and with this extra $6,000 each, that can help us to be able to convert more too, and stay in certain lower tax brackets. So tax planning wise, it can be helpful, but it's a matter of taking advantage of that. Don't be confused by it, and because it can be confusing, but we help you see and take steps. I like to also say the difference between, who helps you do your taxes, tax preparation, and tax planning, what we do. Tax preparation is just showing Uncle Sam what you did last year with your income. Tax planning is getting Uncle Sam out of what you're going to be doing this year and years to come. Getting Uncle Sam out of that money, lowering your taxes if possible.
All right. And this does give us time. Does this, when you're taking away taxes, which, we're in favor of for folks who are receiving their Social Security, what does this do to Social Security itself and our debt? Like, where are we going to replace this money? Are we still working on trying to bring down our national debt?
Oh, I'm sure they are. Yeah. Anyway, that's could be a fun discussion. The national debt, a lot of people think, and that's one of the slides in our presentation at Fresno State, a lot of people think the national debt's in the approximately 30-something trillion, but the official, real national debt is over 225 trillion. That includes the unfunded debt. So how that affects Social Security in the future, we should probably pick up on that next.
Yeah, when we get back. Folks, call the phone number right now. There are some new tax laws. They're going to last for the next few years. It allows you time to start rolling out some of Uncle Sam, meaning the money that you owe in taxes on those tax-deferred accounts for the next few years. And you want to take advantage of these breaks as soon as you can. Get started on your forward-thinking tax plan right now. Call 833-856-1382. We have folks standing by. We'll do your complete tax and income review for you at no cost. 833-856-1382. More with Dale Soutas of Retire Your Way right after this.
Retire Your Way with Dale Soutas, 833-856-1382. Do you know how much you might be paying in fees within your retirement accounts? Just 1 or 2% in hidden fees can eat into your savings and potentially hinder your ability to achieve your retirement goals. But how do you know if you're currently paying these hidden fees, and how do you find them? Dale Soutas and the team at Soutas Financial can help you find the fees within your investments and explore solutions designed to assist with minimizing them. Take control of your retirement savings so that you can work towards keeping more of your hard-earned money. Call for your very own complimentary Retire Your Way review and fee finder report. Let us help work towards finding, exposing, and helping to eliminate those potential hidden fees for you. Call Dale Soutas and Soutas Financial today for your complimentary fee review. 833-856-1382. That's 833-856-1382.
Stock market losses have you worried? Claim your free portfolio risk report and protection review from financial advisor Dale Soutas of Soutas Financial right now. Call 833-856-1382. If the recent market volatility has you worried about your retirement investments, you're not alone. Right now is the time to take action to protect your investments. Surely markets do not always rise, but if you're in your 50s, 60s, or 70s, you don't have the same time to make up for portfolio losses as you did in your 30s and 40s. Claim your portfolio risk review from Soutas Financial today. Call 833-856-1382 or go to Soutas.com. Your portfolio risk review will provide action steps of what you could do to protect your wealth from current market swings. Get your free portfolio risk review right now. Call Dale Soutas of Soutas Financial at 833-856-1382. That's 833-856-1382 or Soutas.com. That's SOUTAS.com.
This is Retire Your Way with financial advisor Dale Soutas, the founder of Soutas Financial. If you're hearing us on the airwaves, he'd be glad to sit down with you and get started on your own no-cost written financial plan for retirement. It's not just a packet or a booklet or a printable. This is an ongoing process, a relationship, if you will. So come on in, get started on your written financial plan for retirement, no cost to you. 833-856-1382 is the phone number for you to call, and folks are standing by right now.
So let me ask you this.
We're just talking about the taxes.
Let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
So if we call this Retire Your Way, shouldn't the ones who are listening when they come in call it Retire My Way?
All righty. You want to play word salad with me? Or we'll figure it out.
No, I'm just saying,
I'm not sure.
Everybody's different, and the point being is when you come in, and it's funny.
Yeah, it's not retiring Dale's way.
No,
it's retiring your way, folks. The listener's way.
Yeah,
your way. How do you?
Exactly, and that's the fun part, because and it's funny because people come in who've heard our show, heard our ads for many years, and so on, or even at the workshops. I constantly get this. You sound just like on the radio, and I go, well, how else should I be? I'm kind of crazy and goofy, but I'm looking at, like I told people recently at the workshop, people come in, sometimes they have a stack of statements or whatever info, tax returns, whatever, and I push those aside. I say, let me get to know you first, because it doesn't matter what you have. It matters what you want to do in retirement first. Then I look at those to see, because those are just tools to be able to, help you do all the things you want to do in retirement. And so, like we were saying, sometimes people are afraid to wait on Social Security because, it's not going to be there. They're going to cut it back, right? Like we ended the last session. But
So what do you think on that? So if we're reducing taxes on Social Security for seniors, it's going to affect tens of millions of people here in the United States. Is this to help Social Security be more solvent, or is this just talking about your income and giving you deductions? It's not adding to Social Security, is it?
No, I mean, the whole bill, like ones have complained, is that it's going to raise the national debt over the next 10 years or so. And, do you really think they're going to find a way to slow that down or lessen the debt? Being realistic on how things go, probably not. But the big scare is in 2034. Even the Baby Boomer Dilemma movie talks about how if they don't make any changes at all, that Social Security will have to be cut by 1/3 for everybody, those who have it and those who are going to get it. Well, be realistic. The politicians want to stay in office. They want that job. They want the money. So they're going to do something. There was an approach, the Baby Boomer Dilemma movie shows how they were working on it. They went across the country showing politicians how it can be fixed just before 9/11. So that got put on the back burner. But being realistic, what would happen across the nation? What do you think, Spike? If they lowered Social Security, what would?
If they lowered the amount that people were getting, I don't care if it was 10%. I think you would have people freaking out. I think you'd have very upset people. There's a lot of folks across the country who rely, unfortunately, solely or mainly. They live on it.
So be realistic. If France went crazy for raising the retirement age 2 years, it'll be worse here if they tried to do that. The politicians aren't going to want to lose their job or the money. So they're going to do something. And what people don't realize is right now, for those of us that make $171,000 or lower, we pay into Social Security on all of that income. But anybody making above that doesn't pay into Social Security anymore. So don't you think if they raise that limit to $500,000, $1 million, or even eliminate that cap, it would eliminate the problem with Social Security immediately?
It would do it immediately.
There's things they can do. There's things they can do.
I've heard if they even went up to $200,000 or $250,000 on that it would eliminate it for the next 40, 50 years. Again, We're speculating. We're talking on the math here. You can be an economist and figure out the numbers yourself. But if they just raise that, and I think,
it would.
Yeah. It would be reasonable. I mean, if you consider inflation, if there's inflation on everything, we should raise the numbers in there for inflationary times as well. I don't want to hurt the American public more in what they're able to save and take home, but it's really kind of a reduction of a few dollars now during your working years so you can get back those dollars in your retirement years. That's kind of the trade-off.
Right. And so regardless of all that, I'm not running for office. I'm
Dale for Congress. Dale for Senate.
So, but and I deal like most people. I deal with what we have to work with now, and as they change, so they've lowered the tax rates. They've given some extra benefits against our income if we are getting Social Security or are basically age 65 and above. That can help us to do things to reduce our taxes in the future. So there's things that we can do, and we want to really encourage people to take advantage of that. But being realistic, I'm not worried about what's going to happen down the road. I still help people plan as if it's going to continue, and how to maximize what they can get out of their retirement. But more and more, what we pointed out, retirement in our like our live workshops, we talk about a lot of different things, and one of them was how retirement is so much different today than for others, our parents and grandparents in the past. It used to be people retired, and the number one source of income was a pension. Number two was Social Security, it was a supplemental thing, and then if they had savings, great, that helped them out. But more and more now, because companies are getting away from offering pensions, and they're offering the defined contribution plans, which are 401ks and TSPs and stuff like that. So now, number one income source for most people is their retirement savings. Number two is Social Security, and number three is a pension, if any. So, and why companies are doing that, getting away from pensions, I like to say, Spike, you're the employer, I'm your employee. How easy is it for you to calculate the amount that you set aside for my future for in 20, 30 years to guarantee me this lifetime income? How much interest does that money have to get? How much volatility, ups and downs on the market can you handle to guarantee me that income down the road? Companies know that that's just...
Now, wait a second.
Quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting.
You said you were going to ask me one question, and then you hit me with 42. You hit me with
welcome.
40. Yeah, come on, you threw the kitchen sink at me. It is... I think the essence of one of the most important questions is that folks are saving for retirement, but what is the number that's going to get them? It's like a blind number. They're just saving what they think they can save and then wanting to live their lifestyle with the other monies. Say, hey, how much do you need to save over a 35-year period to live this way with this amount and have it grow and make sure that you don't run out of money before you run out of breath? I don't know how to do that math. I mean, there are calculations that can help you figure out some of that, but then there's all the other variables you just threw in. Inflation, taxes, and how long you're going to live, and then medical needs and all those other variables.
Interest rates,
yeah.
Stock market ups and downs. So in other words, companies realize it's
when does Dale take
impossible.
Office? When do you win the election?
Yeah.
All that stuff.
So companies realize it's harder to calculate or to save and know how to save in such a way that they can guarantee that income, because eventually that lump of money needs to be converted to an annuity, which is the tool that provides lifetime income. Well, what's that lump going to be? How do you make sure that lump is there for people down the road? That's very difficult to do for companies. So, and then do you need $1 million? People hear that all the time. Not necessarily. I've had people come in, they had a couple $100,000, and there could be, pickled tink, as I call it, right? Tickled pink in retirement. They're going to be able to do what they want. It's again based on, well, what do you want your retirement to be like? And unfortunately, most people spend more time, planning a vacation, and I'm guilty. My wife and I just sat down and were looking at an anniversary trip. But how many of us spend the same amount of time or more on our retirement trip, so to speak, on making sure our money will last, our income will be there? Those are the things we help you with.
Yeah. You can call the phone number right now. If you don't know all of the calculations on how to make your money last, like Dale was taking you through, give us a call. Let us help you with that. You can sit down with Dale. We'll go through these iterations, the mathematical calculations. We'll show them to you. Every now and then, some of those inputs are going to change. What is inflation? How long are you going to live? We'll show you different variations. So you've got a goal in mind of where you're saving now to get you down the road 20, 25, 30, 35 years of possible income spending in retirement. Call the phone number right now. Let's help you with your mathematical calculations on income planning for retirement at no cost to you. Speak with your financial advisor, Dale Soutas, right here of Soutas Financial, 833-856-1382. Don't worry, that's not going to interrupt the show. That's going to go over to our call center, and we'll schedule an appointment for you to talk with Dale himself, 833-856-1382. More Retire Your Way, not Dale's way, your way. When we get back, right after this.
To get your complimentary Retire Your Way review, call Dale Soutas of Soutas Financial at 833-856-1382. That's 833-856-1382. How do you know if you're retirement ready? That's a question many people ask themselves as they approach their golden years. We believe the answer can be complex and depends on many factors, such as your savings, monthly expenses, and lifestyle goals. At Soutas Financial, we can help you determine if you're retirement ready. We'll work with you to assess your financial situation, identify any potential income gaps, and develop a customized plan that aligns with your goals. Don't leave your retirement to chance. Call us today to learn how we can help you work towards achieving financial security and peace of mind in retirement. Call Dale Soutas and the team at Soutas Financial for your complimentary retirement readiness review. Call 833-856-1382. That's 833-856-1382.
Is your largest retirement savings account one that you haven't paid taxes on? Like millions of Americans, you've saved into a retirement account that deferred paying taxes until you take that money out years from now. One method to save on future taxes is called a Roth conversion, and you could do that right now to save yourself from higher taxes in the future. Currently living during the lowest tax rates of likely your lifetime, wouldn't it make sense to pay those taxes now instead of in the future when tax rates could be much higher? Call 833-856-1382 to talk with Dale Soutas and the team at Soutas Financial to see if doing a Roth conversion from your 401ks or IRAs makes sense. Take the Roth Conversion Challenge from Dale Soutas and the team at Soutas Financial. It's complimentary for our radio listeners who are serious about retirement planning. Challenge yourself. Would you rather pay lower taxes now or higher taxes in the future? Call for your own complimentary Roth Conversion Challenge from Dale Soutas and Soutas Financial. 833-856-1382. That's 833-856-1382.
This is Retire Your Way with Dale Soutas, financial advisor and the founder of Soutas Financial. Retirement planning is very different than your savings and investment during your working years. Now we've got to preserve your wealth, create an income plan, make sure you optimize Social Security, have a tax strategy to pay Uncle Sam as little as you can, your fair amount, what you're supposed to, but maybe there are tax strategies that you don't realize. And the ever so important, how do you take care of all of your health needs in retirement while not maybe having to pay dollar for dollar for every bit of care that you need? Are there tools that you can use that can help leverage your savings when it comes to things like long-term care? And more importantly, there's all different rules and iterations here in the state of California. Dale knows his way in and around all of those. Holistic, complete retirement planning starts with you, starts right here. You can call the phone number and sit down with Dale himself, 833-856-1382. There are folks standing by. You're not going to interrupt the show, but you'll get time to sit down with Dale himself. Dale, in fact, seeing people face-to-face, you had a live event recently, and it was right after the tax announcement. What was the temperature in the room as far as mood?
Well, when I got to the point of talking about the Social Security, the new bill and how it affects taxes on Social Security, people were all ears. They were, how does that work? Some were laughing because they already read up on it and realizing it's like we talked about. You get a $6,000 deduction if you're 65 and above on your income, each of you. So a married couple can get up to $12,000, lowering their income by $12,000. And that's, again, a deduction. It doesn't lower your taxes by $6,000 or $12,000. It lowers your income. And it can help to reduce taxes on your Social Security. It doesn't eliminate taxes on Social Security. So, that was part of it. But really, what was really encouraging is people are there because they're realizing, how do I retire and know that my money will last? How do I know that my income will keep going, keep up with inflation? And like we talk about, when we set up your plan, I'm putting it out to the wives age 100. Will the money keep going? Will it keep up with inflation? Because whether it's taxes, whether it's how Social Security will work down the road, whether it's risk, of how much volatility you're taking, health, all of that. Mm-hmm. is magnified by one main problem or risk, which is longevity. People are living longer. So the years going by on your income to keep up with inflation, to keep up with what tax rates might be way down the road, because they can't keep them where they're at, technically. Realistically, there are going to be changes. So how do we deal with all that? And so for many, while we're under that, still the Trump tax code from 2018, it's been extended to 2028. We should be taking advantage of doing Roth conversions, getting Uncle Sam out of the tax-deferred money as best we can. It'll sting. It's like pulling that Band-Aid out. Do you take it off really slow and feel the pain for a long time, or do you just rip it off and it stings and get it over with? So
okay, I think I understand what you're talking about there. As far as Roth conversion, so let's say you've got hundreds of thousands of dollars in tax-deferred accounts. We have these extensions now for several years. So rather than pulling the Band-Aid off all at once and, probably ripping off some hair and some skin while we do it, on us fellas on our legs, I used to bruise my shins all the time. You play football, you play soccer, all that kind of stuff, right? You put Band-Aids on your legs and you're like, ouch, that really hurts when you try to take it off. Right. The ouch of doing the Roth conversion is paying the taxes to convert it over into a Roth. But now you've got time to schedule it. Schedule being 2 years, 3 years, 4 years of playing with this. I even say this, even if we get totally different administration who comes in a few years from now, the tax conversation took a long time to get to here. Who knows, what the dynamic will look like in there. So I think these tax rates will probably be around for a few years. I guess they could just kind of expire on their own if nothing happens. So scheduling this time to do this, is this the time of year where people will be like, hey, Dale, don't worry. We've got time to think about this. We're not in a hurry.
Well, the sooner the better. But think about it. If in the case of ones with hundreds of thousands in tax-deferred money, then look at it as multiple Band-Aids. We're going to rip as much as we can off as quickly as we can. So we might rip that one Band-Aid off this year and then rip another one off next year. In other words, are we maximizing what we can do today to pay the tax, yes, now on some of that tax-deferred money or most of it, and get, like I say, Uncle Sam out of that retirement money. And there's proper ways to do it and strategies, but those are things we will gladly help you see how to do and work with you, your CPA, make sure we understand all the ins and outs and, other things that are entailed in doing all of that.
We were starting a conversation, and unfortunately, we were interrupted with work and having to do this radio show. And we said, "Hey, well, let's have it on the air." You were saying, talk about how Americans have been taught to save tax on $155,000 of income as opposed to paying tax on $1 million later on down the road. What exactly were you talking? Were you talking about our salary versus paying tax on it later in retirement?
No, most people were taught to save tax on $155,000 and pay tax on over $1 million. And how do I break that down? Very simply. If a 35-year-old starts saving, let's say $5,000 a year into, let's say, an IRA, 401k, TSP, okay, of their income, well, that $5,000 they're not paying tax on. Each year they do that. And if they do that from 35 to 65, do the math, they save tax on $155,000, okay, $5,000 a year for that period of time. And that money grows, and by the time they're 65, typically, that could be worth well over $500,000. And then they retire, they eventually have to start taking minimum distributions on, which are now at age 73. And let's say they start taking those minimums out, and they die around mid-80s or so. They took out of that account $500,000 that they paid taxes on, okay? Because you deferred the taxes on that $5,000 a year plus whatever it grew to a later time. And the later time, now you have to take some money out. And so let's say in this example, we show the numbers on the screen. Their $155,000 by the time they retired has grown to $500,000. In retirement, before they die, they've had to take out a minimum distributions, and it amounted to $500,000. They paid tax on that. The account could still easily be worth $500,000 or more, and that goes to the spouse or kids, and it's taxable. So ultimately, they're paying tax on over $1 million, and they only saved tax on $155,000. Does that make sense to do it that way? Whose retirement are you saving for? Yours or Uncle Sam's? So pay the tax on the $155,000, let it grow, and have fun with the money, $500,000, $1 million in retirement, to use tax-free, using tax-free like Roth or properly structured life insurance vehicles like the wealthy use. So there's tools, there's ways to do that. To understand that better, just ask us for the Power of Zero movie. We'll give it to you free to watch. It's not something box off, like something you're going to write everybody, oh, it's a favorite movie. The first half is why we need to do tax-free. The second half is how to do it. It's more technical, but it's very educational to see why we need to save different and teach our kids and grandkids to save and in a way that keeps Uncle Sam out of their retirement money.
Yeah. And the way to get a hold of this movie, this Oscar-winning movie. No, I'm okay. Overstating there. Yeah. It is a great movie, though. Yeah, the Baby Boomer Dilemma, that's one of the tools. And do you still have a clip up on the website?
I have a clip on both.
Okay.
Baby Boomer Dilemma, but this one about tax-free,
Gotcha.
Power of Zero.
Okay.
They're on our website.
All right. If you would like to get, come on, it's California. So we'd like a free movie screening of this. You can watch it at home. You'll get a code for it, and you'll be able to download it, and you can watch it. The Power of Zero. We can talk about it until we're blue in the face, but you're driving around doing your errands right now on the weekend. We don't want to lose you in the tax weeds. Why don't you watch this when you're at home? A couple of different ways. You can give us a call, or you can go to his website, take a look at the trailer. You can click on it, and there's a way that you can schedule an appointment there. You can go to Soutas.com, Soutas.com, for your financial advisor right here in California, or give us a buzz, give us a call. We got folks standing by right now, and they'll schedule an appointment for you so you can talk to Dale. 833-856-1382. That call is not going to interrupt the show. It's going to go to the call center so you can have some time to talk to Dale. How do you get your income spend hopefully down to zero on your taxes in retirement? It's hard. It takes a little bit of ripping off a Band-Aid or two on your taxes on doing Roth conversions, but it can be great for your spending in retirement. Call 833-856-1382. More with Dale Soutas right after this.
Are you worried that you waited too late to start your retirement planning? That you waited too late to start saving? At Soutas Financial, we believe it's never too late to start planning for your future. We can help you develop a personalized retirement plan that is tailored to your current needs and goals. The team at Soutas Financial will sit down with you and provide an evaluation of your current path, including your investment strategy, tax planning, and risk management approach. We'll help you identify potential areas for improvement and work with you to create a retirement plan that is designed to help you work towards having financial security and peace of mind in retirement. It's not too late for you to get started with Soutas Financial. Call us today to schedule your complimentary retirement planning session. We believe we can help you get on the path to financial security and peace of mind in retirement. Call Dale Soutas and the team at Soutas Financial to get started on your own complimentary written financial plan. Call 833-856-1382. That's 833-856-1382.
Social Security is easy, right? The question is, should I take it sooner or later? Well, there are dozens and dozens of ways to take Social Security if you're single, and even more if you're married. This one-time decision can also affect how much you pay in taxes, how much you receive in lifetime payouts for you and possibly your spouse. You could increase your nest egg by tens of thousands of dollars just by being informed. Unfortunately, the Social Security office is not allowed to give you comprehensive financial planning advice. You've paid into Social Security for decades. Don't you want to make sure you optimize your retirement income? Sure, there are tons of online calculators that will tell you how much you will receive from Social Security. Now you need to build that into a retirement income plan with all of your assets. Get your own tailored, no-cost Social Security income strategy with the team at Retire Your Way and Soutas Financial. 833-856-1382. That's 833-856-1382. Or you can write Dale Soutas at dale@soutas.com. SOUTAS.com.
Will you outlive your money? It's a scary thought, but it's a real concern for many people. In our opinion, that's why it's crucial to have a solid retirement plan in place. We believe that with proper planning, you can work towards making your money last as long as you do. Don't wait until it's too late to start thinking about your financial future. Call Dale Soutas and the team at Soutas Financial today to learn how we can help you create a retirement plan that can potentially help you obtain peace of mind and security for years to come. Don't let the fear of running out of money in retirement keep you up at night. Take control of your financial future today. Start your Retire Your Way review and financial plan by calling 833-856-1382. That's 833-856-1382.
This is Retire Your Way with Dale Soutas, financial advisor and the founder of Soutas Financial right here in California, helping you hopefully with as much financial education as we can possibly provide in a 1-hour program. He also does live events, or you can come into the office and sit down with him. One way to schedule a visit is just go to Soutas.com, SOUTAS.com. You know, I've been wanting to bring something up, but I keep putting it off. It's a topic I've been wanting to bring up, but I keep kicking the can down the road. Does that ever happen when it comes to our retirement planning, folks? Just kind of kicking the planning down the road? Procrastination. It is tough sometimes to sit down and go, all right, we've got to tackle this big thing. And when you make it too big into your head, you start to not do it at all.
And they can be afraid of what to expect. I mean, many years ago.
Well, you're scary in person. I understand.
I know. I'm, all of 6'6". Not.
What are you, 5'4" on a good hair day? Come on.
So, but it's funny because it made me think about many years ago. There was a company that wanted, that I was looking at because I was getting my stockbroker license. Say, oh, you can come on with us, and you could do income plans for people, and you charge them X amount of dollars, each time. But the gut feeling I got from it was we're pushing to sell them something that maybe they don't want. And I thought that I just backed off from that because people are afraid. And like I said too many times, that you come in, I don't care about your statements and all that stuff. Just get me in the ballpark when I get to the point where I want to know roughly what your current income is, what your future projected income might be, what your account values and types of accounts, might be, properties, stuff like that. What I want to know first is, well, what's your retirement going to look like? And the reason I stress that so much now is I've had so many people through the years in the 2-3 weeks I've been helping people since I got in the Valley in 1989. I think I'm good on that math, aren't I? Anyway, so for 30 plus years, I have people telling me, when I retire, I want to do this, that, and the other. I want to travel. I want to, get it into these activities. Do all these things, a boat, fishing. More so now I get people who want to play pickleball, which is, I think they say it's like ping pong on,
it's human ping pong on on a court. Yeah. It's very loud. Okay. The balls make a loud ploink when you hit them.
Yeah, the little wiffle balls.
Yep.
But so they tell me they want to do all these things and spoil their family, spoil their spouses, and all this, and then they retire. And as I review from year to year, they're not doing anything. And then years later they die, and the money has grown through those years. The kids get it, and what do the kids do? They do the pickleball, the fishing, the travel, the spoiling. And it's like, no, they're living a just in case. Well, I can't spend it because just in case, because they haven't got a decent, they're not comfortable knowing they can spend their money and know that it won't run out and such. So by having a good income plan, I asked people, like a recent event, I said, now, if you know your income, you have a paycheck to pay the bills. It'll keep up with inflation. To your spouse, your wife's age 100. If you know that you have a play check to do all these fun things you want to do and then some, and all the way until you need care in your mid-80s, let's say, and then we kick in extra income at that point to keep you out of a nursing home, how do you feel? Are you concerned about how does retirement look to you now? Oh, well, everybody, I like it. I'd be okay. Well, that's what I want for people. I don't want you living a just-in-case retirement.
Yeah, just in case, not doing the planning, not knowing the numbers, always worrying about
not playing,
them.
not doing anything.
Yeah. Sitting there kind of, holding on to all of your chips that you've taken your whole life to build up for yourself and possibly your spouse as well, and just not knowing. And it is, and what I want to say is it's not starting out right away and go, hey, let's do this budget. I don't think we've ever liked the word budget. It's more, let's have a spending plan so we know what we can spend, and not just per month, and not just for the groceries and the car and the insurance and this, but like, what's the play money? What's the fun money? We have the tools to help ones. We have a simple sheet that even can be emailed, and it breaks down all the different kinds of things they might spend money on. And there's a section that I should retitle it as play for your play check, like travel and all the things people might want to do. And so that can help us to see, well, a lot of times people don't even know what they spend, or they think they have it, and then I give them that sheet. Oh, I didn't count for this and that and the other that's on the sheet. So it could be a helpful tool. It's not hard to do. It's, most people find it's very easy to do. But again, it's just knowing that they have the money. And most people, this just-in-case concern has to do with, what if I need care down the road? It's so expensive. Yes, it can be, but that's why we like to build it into your retirement plan. Well, yeah, but I'm too old to get and not healthy enough to get long-term care insurance. Good, because I don't like the stuff either. There's better ways to cover long-term care. I don't want you buying long-term care insurance and paying it forever and never using it and throwing all that money out the window. So we build it into your income plan. And then, that brings us to recently I've had at least 2 that I can think of families in the past month or so that we've already started on their plan. One's talking about retiring in a few years, one maybe sooner. And on their follow-up visits, both families came in, and one of the spouses were let go before they were planning. So, okay. So I'm walking them through, taking them by the hand. You'll be okay. You could have retired earlier anyway, as I told them before. But we're retooling, we're adjusting their plan, but they're seeing how, okay, we're okay. I mean, I don't want people in a panic. I mean, there's no way to approach retirement or be in retirement not knowing, it just help you. Was this,
your money
and we don't have to share everything. Was this an AI axe? Was this a government employee? Was this just how industries change and, positions go? What was it?
Nope. It just companies they work for. One's downsizing, one's, I guess maybe both are technically downsizing, trying to reduce the costs because, money, companies
are changing.
Profits are profits are going down or something. But that's okay. They were close enough, and they're good. And
and even with that, we say this to folks all the time. If something bad has happened to you and you feel, oh my gosh, my financial world's come crashing down, this isn't a time to hide. This is a time to go ahead and reach out to a financial advisor. It might be better than you think. You might have time to go, you know what? That really stung. I'd like to take a few months. I don't know if I'm going to fully retire right now. I don't know if I'd like to come back to something part-time or maybe somewhere totally different. A lot of folks will say, oh boy, I'm in my late 50s, early 60s. I don't know if the workforce wants me anymore. There's a lot of people who say that the younger generation doesn't work as hard. So you come to me and say, I want to work hard for the next 5 years. Glad to have you. So try not to get into your own headspace. If something has happened to you, feel free to reach out because that's part of what Dale does. Sometimes you need to adjust the plan, and it could be while you have a plan in place or even while you're putting it together.
sometimes they just need a pat on the back knowing they're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
We don't need to do anything for them right now. And I have some that are, a few years from retirement, and they've done well in saving. And so we're starting to show them how to position some of their retirement savings so that when they do retire, not only do we have more money safe, protected from the market, but also ability to create additional guaranteed income because they're not getting a pension. So we can use tools that provide their own pension themselves. Because you retire and you have $500,000 or $1 million or $200,000, whatever you have as a big lump, that's nice. But how do you convert some of that to income in addition to whatever you might be getting from Social Security, so that your income will last as long as you do?
Yeah.
There's tools that can do that.
So I'm glad that you shared some stories today, and for our listeners out there, every single one of your stories is different. Maybe you're saving your way to retirement. You're just not sure if you've been doing it properly. So first of all, it's not just about the amounts, but what are you using inside your 401ks, inside your TSPs, inside your 403bs, inside your 457s? Wouldn't you like to have somebody review that before you get to the precipice of retirement?
And if I may, a lot of them are surprised that while they're still working, they can move some of that, roll it over to accounts they're in more control of that can particularly do what they need them to do in retirement. So that's also a good thing to know in advance if you can reposition some of it in advance.
Yeah, and it's called an in-service rollover, and it is part of the tax code and the 401ks that you're allowed to do that. The TSPs, you can roll it out and have somebody help you start doing this. First of all, why don't you just start by having the conversation with a financial advisor, an independent financial advisor, with your best interest in mind. Get started on your own written financial plan today. Call the phone number, 833-856-1382. Folks are still standing by, even though that's all the time that we have for Dale Soutas today. We'll be back again next week. Get started on your plan. No matter where you're at in the journey, it's always best to know we don't want a just-in-case retirement plan. Call 833-856-1382 for Dale Soutas. I'm Spike Spangler. We'll be back again with more Retire Your Way next week.
To get your complimentary Retire Your Way review, call Dale Soutas of Soutas Financial at 833-856-1382.
Investment advisory services are offered through Foundations Investment Advisors, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. The content provided is intended for informational and educational purposes only. The views, statements, and opinions expressed herein are those of the individual speakers and are not necessarily those of Foundations and its affiliates. The information contained herein does not constitute an offer to sell any securities or represent an express or implied opinion or endorsement of any specific investment opportunity, offering, or issuer. Any discussion of performance or returns is not indicative of future results. Any discussions of specific strategies are for informational purposes only and have been provided to help determine whether they may be appropriate for your specific situation. If applicable, the primary goal in converting retirement assets into a Roth IRA is to reduce the future tax liability on the distributions you take in retirement or on the distributions of your beneficiaries. Each individual investor's situation is different, and any ideas provided may not be appropriate for your particular circumstances. Comments regarding a particular client's experience may or may not be the same as another client's experience, and is not an indication that any client or prospective client will experience the same or a higher level of future success or performance. Foundations only transacts business in states where it is properly registered or is excluded or exempted from registration requirements. Registration as an investment advisor is not an endorsement of the firm by securities regulators and does not mean the advisor has achieved a specific level of skill or ability. Nothing herein constitutes a recommendation that any security, portfolio of securities, or investment strategy is suitable for any specific person. No legal or tax advice is provided. Please review your retirement, tax, and legacy planning strategies with a legal or tax professional before transacting or implementing any strategy discussed herein. Any comments regarding safe and secure investments and guaranteed income streams refer only to fixed insurance products. They do not refer in any way to investment advisory products. Rates and guarantees provided by insurance products and annuities are subject to the financial strength of the issuing company, not guaranteed by any bank or the FDIC. This is not endorsed or affiliated with the Social Security Administration, any federal Medicare program, nor any U.S. government agency. If applicable, we do not offer every plan in your area, and contacting us at the phone numbers provided herein will direct you to a licensed insurance agent. Any information we provide is limited to those plans we do offer in your area. Please contact Medicare.gov or 1-800-MEDICARE to get information on all of your options. All rights reserved.